zero coupon bonds. So my company needs to raise $50 million to issue 30-year bonds. The interest rate is 7%, compounded semi-annually. I can issue a coupon bond that pays every 6 months, or I can issue a zero coupon bond. Both have a par value of $1,000. I've already worked this problem, but I'm going to work it again just so we can talk about it. Okay. The face value is 1,000. It says par value, but that par value and face value are the same thing. We could do this like on other problems. I've done 10,000 or 1,000 or 100. You can use any value on those, but since this is specified, we're going to use it. Plus, we need to talk about how many millions we want to raise. So the face value is 1,000. The coupon rate is 7%. So the effective semi-annual rate is just going to be that divided by 2. And let me make this a little bit wider. Okay, so number of periods. It's going to be a 30-year bond, but we are going to do it twice a year, so it will be 30 times 2 is 60. And the coupon is going to equal our face value times our effective semi-annual interest rate. So the only thing I have to do here is get the price, which is going to be PV. The rate is that. The number of periods is that. The coupon payment is that. And the future value is 1,000. I'm going to make this a positive price because it's an inflow for us. Amount to raise is going to be 50 million. Okay, so we raise 1,000 for each of these bonds that we sell. The amount to raise is 50,000, so the number of bonds is going to equal that divided by that, and it's going to give us 50,000 bonds. All right, so the zero coupon bond, we have 30 periods. The coupon is 0. Let me lock a few of these cells, and then we'll just transfer the number over. Oh, and notice that I'm going to, actually you can't do that because the time period will be wrong. Let's do the effective annual rate. To the power of 2. And let me subtract 1 just so we're all in the same terms. Okay, so notice a few things. I'll change that to percent. The coupon rate is 7%, but since it's compounded semi-annually, the effective annual rate is going to be 7.12%. It's higher because it's compounded more than once a year, and that's kind of our way of checking ourselves to let us know if we're doing it right. So the present value of this is going to be the effective annual rate, because the zero coupon bond doesn't pay semi-annual coupons. You can just use number of years. The period is 30. The payment is 0. The future value, the face value, is 0. They're the same thing. Close your parentheses. Oh, and let's add a negative because our price is going to be something that we get. So it's an inflow to us. We want to raise 50,000. So how many bonds do we need? Well, we need 393,905 bonds. And you see that that's the answer. So, and let me talk about the intuition here. This bond pays you $35 every 6 months, and then it pays you $1,000 at the end. This bond, and it does so for 60 time periods, 60 semi-annual time periods. This bond pays you nothing until the end of 30 years. So, as you can imagine, this is going to be worth less to you in day 1. This is going to be worth more because you get more payments out of it. So you'd be willing to pay more for that. So that's why this number is so much different than that number. And so the last question is, what would your repayment need to be if you issue the bonds? So if you issue these bonds at time Let me add a comma so it's pretty. Okay, so when t equals 30 years, how much do you actually have to pay back to bondholders? Well, I have 50,000 bonds, and I need to pay back 1,000 plus the coupon rate. Here, I have 393,000 bonds, and I need to pay back, well, just the coupon. Oops, I'm sorry. Not the coupon rate, the face value. So here I only had to pay back 51 million. Here I had to pay back $393,904,545. And the reason for that is that I had to issue so many bonds in the beginning in order to get to my $50 million amount raised. And the lesson here is I had to continue paying in the interim. So I paid part of the interest and all of those things as the bond was maturing. Here I didn't pay anything, and so I had to borrow a lot more. Well, I had to repay a lot more at the end. So that's the answer to the problem, 393,904 and 51 million.